weird thing about this president is he does seem to sell the hurricane the way he sells a condo. Yeah. All right. I mean, I just like, look, and I don't know why he does that. Take a listen.
They say it's about as big as they've seen coming to this country and certainly to the East Coast as they've ever seen. We'll handle it. Get out of its way. Don't play games with it. It's a big one. Maybe as big as they've seen, and tremendous amounts of water. We're fully prepared, food, medical, everything you can imagine, we are ready.
So, Julia, here's what Ashley Parker wrote. She goes, in this headline, tremendously big. Trump reaches for superlatives in the face of calamity. Storms like the one bearing down on the East Coast this week have offered a particularly revealing glimpse into Trump's penchant for the dramatic, a habit of narrating even deadly crises in superlative terms that render him more a rubbernecking bystander than a conventional commander-in-chief.
He absolutely speaks in hyperbole. And you try to kind of see what is the strategy here. Does he want to show after this, if we do have a great recovery effort, that it was him, that he stood up to
he alone.
That
yeah,
he's
exactly.
the
he alone can fix it, Julia.
Exactly. Even
he alone can fix it.
We know so much has to do with the resources that started way before this storm, and we can talk about that too. What FEMA has done to prepare for this, some monies that have maybe been curtailed from FEMA leading up to this storm, and there's a lot that you can actually look at that doesn't have to do anything with his rhetoric, but maybe that's the idea. I mean, you know that from the strategy perspective, he wants to seem like it was him out there on the beach standing against the wind.
The more calamity you describe, then the easier it is to either write off a mistake. Oh, it was just so devastating, we couldn't fix it.
Right.
Or look at how great we were.
Look how great we were in the response. But beneath all of that, I go back to the clip in the quote from the president and what he said in response to the mayor and others who have been critical of him. This is Puerto Rico. It is foreign. Mm-hmm. It is different. It concerns people that, quite honestly, I'm not interested in. Just to put it on the street. It's Puerto Rico. It's an island. There's a lot of water around it. What do you expect?
Well, and
this is the core of where he's coming from. The lack of empathy and concern for people that he considers to be over there, out of the way. And as president, that is damning. And as president, should be really concerning to the rest of us.
Well, and
there's no electoral vote.
That's right. And he made a point of making it seem as though Puerto Ricans weren't Americans. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the rub. And, you know, so you can see the difference with which he treated Houston versus Puerto Rico. In Maria. And I think that with this president, everything is about him, even if it's a natural disaster.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.